Hey, what's going on, everybody? James here, your ABX Audiophile. I appreciate you all swinging in today, and I know it's been a while, and the only reason it's been a while is because we really like to test stuff out, spend some time with it, really get accustomed to what we're looking at, what we're listening to before we really kind of put out a review. So today, we're going to be talking about open baffles, yo. All right, so probably over my entire, not career, but time as an audiophile, really kind of more in depth over the last 5 years or so, I would say. I never, ever heard an open baffle speaker before. And what is an open baffle speaker? For some of you that don't know or never heard of it, or you see these planks of wood standing behind me, what the hell is this guy talking about? An open baffle is essentially just that. If you have a box speaker, basically the front face of the speaker, where everything kind of mounts to, is the baffle of the speaker. So with an open back, you just remove the three sides. And so you end up with something like we have behind us, which are my DIY open baffles. Hey, I just wanted to remind you guys, make sure you check the links below, because if you did not know, we are the world's only 501c3 non-profit charity reviewer. 100% of all revenue generated from YouTube and our Patreon go directly to support youth musical programs in the United States. We are getting ready as a Discord community to make our first donation this month, so don't miss it. Check the links, be there or be square. All right. So one of the things we wanted to do on our Discord was really, as a group, develop an open baffle speaker that would rival any speaker 6 times the cost. And so we set out on a mission to kind of do that. And this is kind of the first prototype. So what you're looking at here is a old school mid-2004, 5, 6-ish Hawthorne Audio Silver Iris 15-inch coaxial driver, and then it has a compression horn tweeter that mounts to the back of it, and it projects the signal through basically a tube, making it act as a horn tweeter. And then if you looked at the dust cover right there of the speaker, that is transparent. So if you shined a flashlight in there, it's almost like a screen. You can see through it. It's completely transparent. So then the speaker becomes somewhat of a waveguide. So if you just think of a horn tweeter, right? So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Puts everything in line, similar to some of the coaxial stuff you see coming out by MoFi, Andrew Jones's new speaker. So on this side, you can see the front face of it. All that is 3/4 inch birch plywood. I got it from Home Depot. It's 2 foot by 4 foot panel, or 2 foot by 4 foot panel. And then we cut a 13 3/4 inch hole, I believe, with a router bit. Built a jig for it. We flared the front. We beveled it out to kind of help with that, extending that waveguide out a little bit. And then if you look over here on this side, it's just mounted to the back. And it's 3/4 inch plywood, about 3/8 of an inch on the flange of the driver of the woofer. So we just used maybe like a 1-inch screw so it doesn't project through the front. Last thing you want to do is have it like poke through the front of the wood. And we just mount the speaker there. And then you can see the compression driver is screwed to the back of it. And everybody's going to be like, well, what are we seeing? What are we looking at there, Owens? Okay, so what we're looking at there, right here, I know it's opposite of the way I'm seeing it. So what we're looking at here is, and this is a Dolce audio design. If you haven't looked up Dolce Audio, our good friend Terry, he's in our Discord, actually. You can come check him out. But essentially what you've got is we've got some different types of tweeters, compression tweeters. And if you look at this, here's your positive, negative. This is just like a big, massive magnet. It's got a teeny little driver inside. This black part here is actually a bracket that you get on Amazon or wherever, and it screws to the tweeter and allows it to then screw into the back of the driver. And I'll show you, let's see if I can do, Let's see here. There you go. Okay, so here's a good picture of it right here. You can see that here's the tweeter. Just your positive negative leads just right on the back face there, and then they go down to the crossover that was designed by Hawthorne Audio back in the day. Really good components. I don't think you could get this stuff anymore, but my buddy Terry from Dolce Audio sent it over to me, and I've been auditioning it for months now with these old Silver Iris 15-inch and high sensitivity drivers. I think there's something like 96 or 97 dB sensitive. So you can literally run these off 3 watts, maybe 4 watts of tube power. It doesn't take much to push these things, and they're absolutely blissful. So that's the tweeter. And the nice thing about this configuration, this setup, is that you can switch. So here's the original tweeter that, again, mounts on. You would have this mounting plate to it. And then in this one, you notice that it's been modified by Dolce Audio. The back plate has actually been machined off to expose that dome tweeter that would then fire kind of backwards. Really softened the sound up, really helped with the sound stage. Not so bright, just really smoothed things out, and a really cheap and nice upgrade. Just goes to show you don't have to spend a ton of money to do stuff. But so there is the original tweeter with the HA, with the Hawthorne Audio kit, if you will. And then one of the cool things, if you noticed, maybe you didn't see it, this piece of wood here. Everybody's going to say, well, what is that piece of wood? Well, what that is, it's this guy right here. And essentially, this part here would screw in to the back of the speaker, right? It would screw into the back of the speaker, and then your tweeter screws into that, and then what it does is it puts the tweeter in phase with the main woofer. So what Dolce Audio refers to it as is a phase shim. And when you audition these highly sensitive speakers, I mean, I think this Celestion tweeter here is like 110 dB sensitive. So I mean, literally takes no power to run these things, and it is just as detailed and real as you can imagine being. And so you can really hear a lot of the differences. You can start to really hear the sound of your DACs and the sound of your equipment and things like that. You can really start to identify, little subtle differences in things. And so when you add that phase shim, it really changes kind of the sound stage and the way things sound just by how that's interacting with the woofer. So super cool. One of the things that I love about the Open Baffle, I have never heard a speaker in my life, and I've heard some nice speakers, and I have some nice speakers. I have $2,000-$3,000 towers standing around. I mean, I've got B&Ws, we've got Emotiva T2s, we've got Dyne Audio, Emmett 50s. I mean, no slouches in the tower speaker game. And these Open Baffles right here annihilate everything I've ever heard in my life. When it comes to dynamic detail, realism, feeling like you're in the music, sound stage, everything. It's just phenomenal. The only thing that the Open Baffles lack, if you're going to get into this Open Baffle space, is the bass. The really low bass extension and that really tight, impactful bass that when you're sitting in your listening position just punches you in the chest. Open Baffles in this configuration do not really do that. Now you can add sides to the Open Baffles to kind of make a 3-sided thing to improve bass response. You could cut holes in the bottom down there and put a bass driver and redo the crossovers and stuff. But what I did is I just implemented a simple set of REL H10003s, little 10-inch home theater subwoofers, super quick, super clean, super accurate, really musical, and they did nothing but lift this sound stage up. So I'm telling you, I've been a tower speaker guy my entire life. never heard a set of open baffles. But since I've built these and put them into my system with my Emotiva XPA amp, with my Willsenton R8 tube amp with over $1,000 in tube upgrades, with my Freya Plus preamp with upgraded tubes, running the Schiit BiFrost 2 DAC. We're running the Rega P3 turntable with a Denon 301 Mark II cartridge through the super nice Project phono box. I think it's like the SB3 or something like that. It switches from moving coil to moving magnet. All XLR'd out to the Freya Plus, preamp RCA'd into the R8 tube amp. I mean, it doesn't matter. Solid state amp, tube amplifier. These things are glorious. Now the magic obviously happens with a tube amplifier, but anyway, I just kind of wanted to get in today and just give you guys a little rundown of the Open Baffle, of the ABX Open Baffle, partnering with Dolce Audio. If you're interested in something like this, I built these things for $400. Basically $200 in material. No, $600. I apologize. $600. $200 in material. And if you're interested in building these baffles, I'm going to do another video right after this that's going to run you through the whole process of building these and kind of what my thoughts were and what the results were compared to some others. Some of the other stuff that we've compared to, we did the cane tuck baffles with the Lisong F15s. I really liked the sound of those. Not too far off from the HA, the ones that you see behind me. Just a little bit gritty, a little bit more aggressive and fatiguing, I guess, if you will. Not quite as laid back. And again, you're asking, they're different beasts. You can see that my baffles have a crossover, a tweeter, compression horn tweeter, a driver. The Lisong F15s are just a single full range driver, so you're really asking a lot out of that 15-inch driver. There's the front of it right there, and beautiful sounding. The problem is, and we did extensive testing on the F15. You can see the F15 there in the cane tuck baffles with my Dyne Audio M50s behind. You can see Dolce Audio's UA 2.5 3 watt tube amplifier, I believe, which was driving the cane tucks and the Lee F15 baffles. Glorious sound, but I just didn't get the imaging and the sound stage and just the beautiful bloomingness of the Hawthorne Audio Silver Iris kit that you see behind me. So what I did is I ended up taking those open baffles, the cane tuck F15 combo, and putting them on some chairs. And once I raised those up, the bass response improved. The clarity improved, the sound stage started to come together, but just a little bit of a harshness. And so that was kind of my first taste in the open baffle space. I hadn't had any open baffles before. That was my first experience. Dolce Audio, Terry over at Dolce Audio was kind enough to send those to me for review. And then a couple other people in our Discord channel actually got to review them too. So if you're interested in hearing about those, check out our Discord. The links will be in the bottom there. But essentially all that did was kind of give me it was like the first hit of open baffle, man, and you are hooked. Like once you hear that open baffle realism and dynamics, thanks phone, you can never go back. And so I was instantly hooked, and I decided as a Discord group, let's design an open baffle speaker that rivals a ton of stuff. Let's do it as a group. And this is what we came up with. So if you're interested in stuff like that, check out our Discord. We talk about it all day long. I'm working on version 2 right now. We've got Dolce Audio, got with the original manufacturers of this Silver Iris, and we're working on a brand new driver. It should be out in a few weeks. We are auditioning. I've got a new JBL tweeter coming. We've got the Celestian tweeter we're auditioning right now. We've got the original 8101, 1001, ASD 1001. I'll put all the links to this stuff in the chat. This is the original one that came with the kit. Probably the most smoothest, sweetest sounding. This gets a little bit, more dynamic and forward, but at the cause of maybe a little bit of fatigue. And then we got the JBL coming too. We're going to be auditioning that pretty soon. So anyway, just kind of wanted to bring you all into my open baffle madness that we've been having. And I'll tell you what, I auditioned these things for quite a few weeks, and I have tried so hard to put the Emmett 50s, the B&W 604 Series 3 from 2007, made in England, my reference speaker for a long time, Emotiva T2. I mean, we have tried to put stuff back in and get back into it, and I always leave the listening session thinking, nope, it's just not the baffle. So if you want the most real and dynamic musical experience you have ever had in your life, get a proper, powerful tube amplifier or even a solid state. My Emotiva XPA-2 Gen 3. Just control these things. Insane. But you won't go back, or I don't think you'll go back. Maybe you'll go back. I don't know. But you'll keep them close. Anyway, appreciate y'all today. Keep tuned. We're going to be doing a bunch of videos this weekend. I'm going to do a build video on these open baffles. We're going to review the new Ghost. Meh. I mean, you watch the review if you want, but I'm like, meh. Just give me my cost 40s and we'll be good. Anyway, appreciate y'all. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.